Hello again there, friends and fans. Raptor here, and welcome back. It is good to see you here for yet another city builder. Glory to Raptoria as we build our first city in the more recent updates for Flotsam. It's good to see you all here as we're going to start by repairing our engine and starting to build ourselves a floating city. This is a giant map, by the way, where we can move our ship all the way around. Our ship will soon become a city where we can go to different areas in order to trade and pick up more materials, find other survivors, and eventually build ourselves a giant floating city. So if you guys want to see more of this game and think it's interesting, make sure you click tab below up and destroy that like button. Again, welcome to all the new subscribers too, and thanks as always for the support. We're going to send somebody out here to go gather all this plastic here that's floating. That'll allow us to build certain things on our boat. Now this isn't any ordinary boat. This is the boat Raptoria. Check this out. We've got a lot of water being stored on board. We have a storage area in the front, and we've also got a large propeller here that can move us across the map. We'll be able to go to different areas, and so our moving city, instead of the materials coming to us, we'll go to the materials and then bring those in with different types of swimmers. So it might be a good idea to scoot a little closer to that plastic so that way we can try to capture all that stuff very easily. Looks like there's other materials nearby too and other areas to go, like the shack town there. That'll eventually give us more materials, and that'll be a good idea. Let's speed up time a little bit as we wait. Many things to do in this game, including gathering wood and then drying it out in order to make firewood, in order to then make water from it. And it looks like our first little scavenger is back with a small delivery, though it's going to be a little too late. Let's go ahead and move our ship a little closer then. And we'll move the town forward. Good. Alright, now we're closer to our little position that we're going to gather from. That'll save us a little bit of time. Now every time we move, it's going to cost us oil, and that of course will then cost us a little bit of fuel, which we'll have to then regain oil, and then we'll also have to basically purify it or refine it in order to continue to move, which is quite interesting. We're going to go ahead and build a small storage area there, and since we have mostly plastic, I'm going to build a pathway here too that stretches out, so that way we can continue to build things on this side. Industrial-wise, we're going to put storage and processing over here. Eventually we'll need to purify our own water, and of course that's something that people are going to need as quickly as possible, but in order to do that, we're going to need to start drying some materials out. So we're going to make a drying rack over here too, so that way all of this water can be made by dried wood being burned in the distillery, which we can build later on too. There's many different things to do in this game, so make sure you do subscribe and watch the videos in their entirety, as of course there's a lot to see in this game, many features and more things that are new, and it's been a while since we've taken a look at it, so we'll have to remember what to do all over again. Check that out, another town that we can go to. I like that. We're going to have to drop by over there as soon as possible. Alright, the drying rack is up and running. We don't have any wood at the moment to dry, but we do have at least some extra storage to make sure we have plenty of space for all this plastic. And that's definitely something that we're going to need a few of. We also need to build ourselves some beds, so that means wood. We're also going to need to build ourselves a woodworking shed, and that means wood. So would you believe it? We don't have any wood, but we'll have to go look for some. Alright, let's go ahead and close some of these. I can remember some of the production limits and things from before. Essentially, we're going to continuously dry wood as soon as we can. And actually, it's a good idea to build 2 of these. Wood, from what I remember, dries out pretty slowly. And it's a good idea to have 2 of those going. And it's always a good idea to have somebody at base and somebody out swimming. Right now we have 3 people going to swimming, so that way we can get on with gathering wood as soon as possible. Now from wood we can make firewood, which again will go to refining things at the, or rather distilling things. And of course we can get metal scrap from the town that's nearby too. These people are awfully hungry, so we'll have to find some food too. So if we look on the mini-map here, or the world map, if we zoom out far enough, we have a good opportunity to find seaweed here, good opportunity to find canned goods here, and of course all the way over here we could also go to the fishing village, but we'll probably need fuel to do so. So it'll be a good idea to also identify where a factory is, so we might be able to take oil and then refine it. Over here we can find things like a viaduct that'll have metal from cars, and an intact bookshop, of course, which will have books for us to read for knowledge and other things like that. So we'll figure that out as time goes on. Looks like our people did a good job of gathering all the materials. Good job, everyone. Let's go over here to the shack town and see what we can find nearby. Let's go ahead and pull up real close, and let's skirt right about there. Skirt. There we are. And away we go. Perfect. So you can see that it's consuming a small amount of fuel there. And every time we move, it's going to be a cost, basically, to move that way. A little bit of plastic in front of us, but an opportunity to gather lots of stuff from Shacktown, including wood, books, metal, and food. Excellent. Let's put everyone on salvaging. because we need to get this stuff as quickly as possible, and this is about as close as we can pull up. Eventually, we'll be able to build things like boats that'll be able to bring things back and forth, and also fishing boats that'll capture some of the fish to give us food. And then we can put those on fish sticks. We can make seaweed growers and a chop shop in order to make the food. But the most important thing right now is probably the distiller, so that we can get water. So we'll go ahead and call this Ben Distiller, and we'll put Ben right over there, and that should be fantastic. Whoa, big O sea creature there. Wow, is that Cthulhu? Watch out, boys. It's dangerous. No, of course, it's a giant shark. I'm just kidding. It's a dolphin. I'm just kidding. It's a whale. A whale of a tail is heading out to sea, I suppose, because it's hungry. And our people are hard at work at building the distiller. We'll stay here for a little while as they gather materials. We can also find survivors out here as well, like this. And I think everything in this game can be renamed, and that's pretty cool. So we can rename the distiller the water maker if we want to. We can rename the town Hart to Kevin Hart if we want to. We can rename the small drying rack to the super small drying rack, whatever we want to do, including the people too. So again, thanks to you people for becoming members and subscribing to the channel and liking and all that stuff if you've done that. Thank you so much for doing so, and I appreciate the support. It's almost time to make water, but before we do that, we need to turn that into firewood. So we better make a woodworking shed, and we probably should put it nearby so that way firewood can be made here and then eventually turned into firewood to be brought next door. And it looks like we can make ourselves a bed finally. Good. Let's take some of this plastic and turn it into a walkway here. And we'll try to stretch that out as far as possible for 2, like that. And then let's go ahead and try to make a woodworking shed there next to it. Good. And let's make a little sleeping quarters close to everybody. Ooh, we're full up on supply again. Hold on. We need to keep gathering supply as quickly as possible, so let's continue to expand this. And we're getting a lot of dry wood, so that means we can start making firewood out of that, and then eventually turn that right into water. So let's go ahead and put water on then. There we are. And that'll get working as soon as we have a free hand. So it's a good opportunity to stay here for a while longer. Actually not. We cleared Shacktown as quickly as possible. Good job, everyone. Alright, let's wait till the construction's complete. Time to make some beds. I suppose we can make the beds over by the storage. It's going to be quiet over here. Not much is going to happen, so we may as well just put a bed or 2 over here. And I don't think everybody's sleepy at the same time, so they can kind of share a bed. Not ideal situation, but it saves on materials, especially at the start, since we're so low. Let's go ahead and go back to the world map, and let's see where else we can go. Ah, yes, the seaweed-covered rocks. We certainly don't want to avoid that. We could get seaweed here and eventually start turning that into food. So let's make a quick stop here and tell one person to go over. And in the meantime, water can be distilled here, fresh water, as soon as we make fuel. So we better tell someone to continuously make let's see, fresh water will be made from the firewood. And the beds are almost done. Good. And we can try to get that done throughout each day. Alright, so we should have somebody working on water and wood, and then somebody gathering food, which I think can eventually be created here at one of the chop shops, which I believe makes food, although it doesn't really give a good description. But we'll see. We'll do a little trial and error. Ah, an oil refinery too. Refines oil from plastic waste. Good. Very good. Alright, let's go ahead and put that probably over here. Not a good idea to put it next to water, but we're limited on space and materials, so it's a good idea to just put it down so we can at least continue to travel. We've got about less than a half of a tank. So not very good. Okay, so it looks like we've got a queue going for making firewood. So someone will be on that as soon as they deliver another piece of dry wood. And it looks like we're out of wood in general from all the construction that we've been doing. So we'll have to get that cracking here soon. So we'll have to travel. So we better get out of here. Forget this seaweed. We'll have to come back and get ourselves some water. And that means wood. So let's go somewhere else. Alright, we need to find an area where water is, where wood is plentiful. And it looks like we can only travel about this far. So we need to be careful about how far we go. Oh, there's a house over here too. A lonely island. Ah, I see. Might be able to get close to that, but over here we have a factory ruins. That'll give us oil too, I believe, directly. Might be a good idea to come over here, though, and land next to that wood. Move the town. Good. Now, once we've arrived, we can start taking some of that plastic we have and turn that into fuel as well, and see if we can make our way towards something like the factory ruins to give us fuel to continue to move across the map. That's pretty important. Ah, good. We're right next to the wood. Would you believe that? Looks like we're going to need plastic, too. So let's start gathering that wood, and then we'll come over here and gather the plastic. A lot of this, a lot of waiting until you get additional people in this game. Lots of jobs to be done, but not a lot of people to do it. But now we're starting to make water, so that's great. Firewood is being made, and we have somebody out gathering the wood, which will eventually be brought back to storage. Looks like actually one of these people are transporting things around, so we'll have to wait until we get a little bit of firewood stored up to continuously make water, so that way we can focus on other things. Good. Firewood being dried, or at least regular wood being dried, and we'll see how much wood that these people bring in soon enough. Let's take a look around. More plastic, more wood, and possibly some school of fish around here too. This game is so much different. They've done such a good job of making it more of an open world that seems interconnected rather than traveling to regions, though we can do that too. Storage here is looking pretty good. There's our storage right there. You can see how much water we have and different types of materials that are ready and waiting inside the storage. I'm glad we made plenty of that, so that way we can basically do hit and run on supplies whenever we do a supply run, which is pretty much all the time. You never want to stop gathering materials and producing things. And it looks like we've got plenty of wood here. Water's being made non-stop. We have wraps of soybeans. No, we have seaweed. That's what it is. But maybe we can do farming. I know we can do that with seaweed and such. Soybean, of course, a very resilient crop. And everybody always talks about using it sometime whenever there's going to be a apocalypse. You never know. We'll have to move over there to get some plastic. We'll have to see if we can scoot over that far. And it looks like the oil refinery is going to need plastic. So let's go ahead and try to make that out of anything that we've got remaining for plastic. Good, good. I don't know exactly how that works, but I guess it's getting oil out of the plastic somehow. Reverse process. Very interesting. Water's holding pretty steady. And it looks like we're down to 29 wet wood here. And what about fuel? Doesn't look like we're making any just yet. We might be able to make one fuel, one oil, that is. And I think that might need to be refined. So we'll see. We'll see exactly how everything works here. And we'll start scooting over that way very shortly to get that plastic. I don't want to leave that there. That wouldn't be good. We need to get that stuff as quickly as possible. Alright, everything's looking good in terms of making water. And all this stuff is drying out, so we should probably put somebody on drying. Let's go ahead and remove this marker for now and see if we can squeeze our way over to that other site and get some plastic. We're just going to move over there just a little bit. Just a small little skirt. There we go. And now we can continuously make fuel. Good. Now we want to stop at a larger landmark and hopefully find some more survivors around here so we can get more people in our boat. 145 beautiful plastic, though. Let's get everyone to gather that. Let's go ahead and turn off water production for now and firewood production. Let's just work on gathering all this stuff so we can continue to move. Okay, so production is turned off. Let's go ahead and cancel some of these. There we go. Let's go turn off whatever's in the queue. And they'll get immediately to work on gathering all that plastic. And we've got plenty of storage space for it, too. Obviously, those are the two major building materials in the game, but also metal being a very important one. A more rare material, but just as important. Oh, good. Look at them go. Look at them go. And look at the name of our ship, too, by the way. You can see the RAPTORIA on the front. Beautiful. Little home over there. Looks like a desert island over there somewhere. And more wind things off in the distance, too. Very cool. Alright, let's continue to make some of that plastic into oil. We'll have to have somebody here to do it. So we've gathered up at least 10 or 12, so it's good to keep that going. And, of course, we're almost out of storage, too. About halfway there. Living on a prayer. Getting closer, though, to our objective of getting some materials stored up. Almost acting like a squirrel or something, as if winter's always almost upon us. Good, the oil machine is working. Looks like they grind it up. And then out comes little drops of oil, I guess. Kind of a neat little system. You can see our oil here actually growing. Town fuel is increasing. And as soon as that's full, we should be able to move towards more plentiful seas. Interesting to see all this plastic on top, isn't it? That's a lot of stuff. Water bottles, water jugs, barrels, boxes and crates. Tupperware, all made from plastic there. And it looks like our people are able to get a nice sleep. Let's make another bed, finally. Now that we have a little bit more material, we can be a little bit more generous to our people. Oh, what is this here? Ah, research station. We'll need to make rope out of that, so we'll have to assign our little thingy here to make rope instead. Let's go ahead and make some rope. But let's not put it on infinite. Let's go ahead and make a few rope. There we go. We'll just make one full order of rope. And we'll call it good. Alright, more construction taking place. Well, at least now 3 of our people have beds. That's nice. Good. Everyone can get a good night's sleep now. Water and food is holding out. Fuel is increasing. Good. Let's go ahead and cancel any other orders of oil, except for the current one. And we'll get moving as soon as all this pile is gathered up. Where can we move to next? Let's see. Well, we could go to the factory ruins or the lonely island where there seems to be a fire brewing. And I'd actually like to see that because there might be another person there, and getting more people is a good thing for us to move quickly. Water reserves are low, of course. We'll need to work on getting some wood as well. Perhaps the new island will have some materials for us. Maybe water itself. But we can always come back. The fuel is fully loaded. But we will need more plastic for things. So we'll need to stay here for just a little while longer. We're out of fuel now for the distiller. So we'll need to make ourselves moving here very shortly. Looks like all the dry wood is being used to make rope. Probably a good thing, because we'll soon be able to make that research station and make things that'll be able to help us out soon. Alright, I think we should probably get going. We can always leave materials and come back later if we don't have the capacity. Let's go see what's at this little house here. I've never gone to one of these, so let's see what's waiting for us. If not, the factory. And if not, then we can go get double piles of wood over here. And maybe go visit a seagull? Okay. Alright, fuel consumption. Not too bad. That's about as close as we can get. So let's see what we have here. Well, would you look at that? Lilu Ahab is waiting. Requires a salvage boat. Oh no, we can only rescue somebody with a salvage boat. Well, we know that now. That's going to take 6 dried wood in order for us to gather. So let's go see if we can help her out. Let's go to one of these wood piles and start drying it out. Or the factory. Let's go to a factory ruin and see what's waiting there. Let's scout it out. 15 oil and metal, too. Okay, we'll come back here. Well, we need that wood as soon as possible so we can gather enough wood to make fuel. And actually water. Human fuel, if you will. Fuel for humans, not fuel from humans. Oh, boy. Alright, well, we got plenty of oil again. That's really nice. Okay, everybody, start gathering. Water is extremely low, so let's have 2 people gather that. And have somebody else work at the fire station, actually. On making firewood. There we go. Good. And then we'll have somebody come back and distill. We're going to get water going as soon as possible. Alright, let's change our town heart buoy marker to 1, and we'll change this to 1. And continuous water production. Good. Very good. Alright, now with all that dried wood, we should be able to start making our warehouse, but we probably need rope too. I don't think we made any of that just yet, so our first concern will be to gather enough materials to make rope. And the research site is here under the first one. So it looks like we need about 1 more rope and a lot more plastic too. Wow, always running out of materials. The start is very difficult. But once you know where to look for things, then you know exactly what order to do them. So getting a salvage boat up is a good operation in order to increase the amount of salvage that you can gather and also to get people onto your boat, which is something that's holding us back. Alright, water's being made. That's good. Food is also getting very critically low. But of course we can always get that by stopping by perhaps the island here. Or maybe the viaduct. Maybe there'll be a food truck or something there. You never know. Alright, 48 wood has been gathered. Let's go grab some plastic now. Scoot over there. Good. Alright, that's enough wood for now. Let's grab some plastic now. Let's go ahead and set up a swimming area. Lots of plastic. Very good. Alright. And a lot of that wood is still drying. We're going to need to make more dryers, I think. It's going to take much longer than I was hoping to dry a lot of that out. 10 plastic per dryer. So we need to keep that in mind. Firewood's being made like crazy. Distillers making water like crazy. At this point, we're going to need somebody to almost permanently work at the distillery at all times. Unless we happen to find water, or unless we happen to find firewood somewhere, we'll always need somebody to be working there. And you can see it takes a long time for these drying racks to work naturally. Even when we build the drying rack here, which might be a better idea, actually. It can dry 6 items versus 3. Let's build the more advanced one. There we go. Perfect. Double duty. More materials being gathered for the firewood. Okay, let's go ahead and turn you off then. And we'll keep on making water, but plastic needs to be gathered. And also the drying racks need to be filled. Alright, water is pretty much secure so long as we continue to make that. We do need to find some food somewhere. And there might be a way to find that at a shack town over there. So we'll have to come back for this survivor. But we'll remember that lonely islands have survivors on them. And we can always come back, since they have prerequisites to rescuing those people. You'd think if a boat would come up and it was your only way off the island, you'd be happy to go no matter the method. But I guess these survivors are a little pickier than usual. No harm done, I suppose. Alright. Let's continue to gather all the plastic that we can. It's being immediately converted into fuel or something else. Let's turn off the fuel production. There we go. Good. Very good. We can also turn this off if we want to, so that way nobody works there. So let's do that since we have a full fuel tank for now. And water's looking okay at 4. Not bad for just 3 people. And plastic's at 8, but we should probably still continue to gather that. So let's get another person to work in the water. Turn this building off too. Put it on continuous firewood production though. We'll need some more soon. Actually, we'll probably need, instead of firewood, we'll probably need to get ourselves some ropes. There we go. Make that infinitely as possible. Good, a little bit of water. A little bit of everything, actually. I think we're ready to move again. Let's go to one of the islands so we can get food. Shacktown here might have cans of food on it, so let's roll up there. And let's move town. Excellent. So we're on our way now to the next objective. Well, really no objectives, just jump from location to location. So long as you don't die, you're doing it right, I suppose. What is that, a sea creature? Or more plastic, I suppose. Alright, Shacktown, what do we have? Oh, looks like we've already been here. Okay. It would be nice if that was indicated. I suppose it is by the little green flag there. Hard to see, but now we know. Okay, let's continue to travel. Looks like there's a destroyed ship over there. Shipwreck of some sort. Viaduct, okay. And another fishing village. Let's go to the fishing village. A long way out there, but we need food. And I don't think, when we're traveling like this, I don't think we're actually consuming any goods. If we find a fishing village, though, we will need a chop shop for that, so luckily we have that. And we're kind of taking a look around what else is around us. We'll have to go back to that survivor at some point. I see some fish up there in the corner. But we'll need some boats ready for that. Which means that first we need to be able to build an area to house them. Then we have to build the boat too, so it's a double expense. It's not as easy as it seems. Ah, good. 20 fish here. Okay, let's have somebody salvage that. And let's have somebody make a chop shop for us so we can make food. Got to get on that as soon as possible. Okay, we'll make our food production building here. And let's turn this building off for now. Although we'll put it on unlimited water. We can control that much easier by just turning it on for water whenever it's needed. And that way we're always having something that we need being made from that. Okay, good. Well, we have 2.5 food reserves. Not bad. If we're managing a small group, we can wing it. I have pretty good confidence in us being able to do that. And a chop shop is complete. Almost complete. Oh, look, it's a little boat. How cool. Alright, we'll probably need firewood in order to make food from this, so we'll see how that works. I don't know what else we have on board for food, but... Oh, looks like we can make fish out of this. Nibble fish. Alright, let's go ahead and make sure that's working. Item is missing, it seems. Bird chow or seaweed salad. Oh, looks like we have materials for seaweed salad. We must have gathered some seaweed when we were at that small island. Okay, well, we've got something working. And we're bringing back stuff from the fishing village. Oh, lots of materials, actually, including books. We can actually see our man up there working away at taking apart the village. Pretty cool. They built all that stuff in these little mountains like that. That's really neat. Good. Ah, the music is very lovely, too. Very nice. Plenty of wood, plenty of plastic. Does this require fuel to be made? Nope, but we are making fuel from all the seaweed, food from the seaweed that we had. I wonder what bird chow is for. Birds can eat them safely. Oh, we must... I think we can actually use the birds to gather materials. So if you've been seeing the seagulls on the map, I think we can actually train them to go grab special items and bring them back without having to have our crew do it, which keeps them hard at work. Have we been bringing back anything else? I'd like to come back here after we find some more food. Water's working nicely, though. Let's turn this back on and switch this all from ropes back to firewood. So our major goal is going to have to be to build a mooring point and then a salvage boat, which is going to take a lot of materials, as you see. So we can go rescue somebody. We need to go rescue some of these survivors as quickly as possible, so let's build a salvage boat and a mooring point. Seems counterintuitive to get more people even though we have less food, but we always need people on the boat to be preparing food and water, and then we need people gathering materials at all times too. So very important. So we always need somebody at the woodworking shed making firewood and always somebody at the distiller. But of course with that happening, that leaves only one person to do everything else. Make ourselves a salvage boat now, and we'll put a parking lot there. And we'll go back and rescue that lovely lady who was on that island, now that we have extra materials. Now, it might mean we need another bed, but we can get to it eventually. The Salty Ark. Yes, that's what we're constructing now. Now we have limited fuel, so we'll have to make one of those too. We'll make a couple of those after we make a salvage boat. And actually, we can gather plastic from that. So let's send somebody with a boat to do that too. And we'll send one person in a boat. Now the salvage boat, look at that, it's made out of just a chair, half boat, little barrel. The construction on this is genius, and the colors are beautiful. I certainly like this game a lot. Very nice. Well, we've got much more to do, and I want to continue on with this one tomorrow, so if you want to see a full playthrough of this game, make sure you smash that like button and subscribe. There are some major updates out, and I'd like to take a look at everything that's new, and we haven't even started to scratch the surface. I have much more to show you next time when we come around. And I played this one quite a bit since it came out, at least not on screen. So I can't wait to show you what I've learned. And I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye, everyone. Thanks as always for your support, and we'll see you soon. Bye.